This former MLB starter and current Red Sox farmhand is looking to make his way back to the majors in a really big way. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and just a couple of weeks ago, the Boston Red Sox acquired and signed a starting pitcher by the name of Sal Romano. Now, Sal has been a major league starter before, appearing on teams like the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Yankees, but now that he's signed to the Boston Red Sox on a minor league deal, he's looking to make his way back up to the majors and maybe taking a different route. And luckily, we were able to sit down with Sal Romano, having just signed with the Red Sox, and talk about what it was like to come to the Red Sox organization, his goals for 2024. So what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to talk to Sal. We're going to talk to him about what it's been like signing with the Red Sox and what he's aiming to do this year. We're also going to break down what Sal Romano could do in 2024 and what it could mean for the Boston Red Sox. But before we get into that, a quick word from today's sponsor. If you're like me and sports is what gets you up in the morning, it's really what drives your passion, but thinking about a career in sports feels like a really daunting process. That's where today's sponsor comes into play. Southern New Hampshire University's online sports management program allows you to turn that passion for sports into a degree. With this program, you'll learn about the business of economics of sports, sports management principles, and how to gather and analyze sports data. This can help you prepare for a career as, say, an athletic director, sports marketing manager, information directors, and other exciting roles in the sports industry. SNHU is an accredited nonprofit and has radically affordable tuition, and because it's online, you can get your degree from anywhere in the world. I grew up in New Hampshire and I watched my dad take Southern New Hampshire's online program to better his career, and it worked out absolutely fantastic for him. I have nothing but good things to say about SNHU. So whether you are trying to figure out what to do out of high school or you're looking for a change with your current career, go to snhu.edu/Red Seat Radio, also linked in my description, to see if you qualify for SNHU's sports management program. You might be eligible for financial aid or have previous credits that could fast track your degree at SNHU. Click the link to get started. Thank you to SNHU for sponsoring this video, and thank you for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. So for those of you who may be sitting there saying, I have no idea who this Sal Romano guy is, that's okay. Sal Romano was not exactly a headline breaking news when the Red Sox picked him up just a couple of weeks ago. Last year, he spent time in independent baseball. He wasn't on an affiliated major league team, and during that time, he appeared in 28 games, 15 of them being starts, where he had a 4.91 ERA with a 1.542 whip. He was striking out about 8 batters per 9 innings and walking 3.9. Like I mentioned in the intro, though, Sal Romano is an experienced major league pitcher. He has played some time at the major league level. In fact, he's played parts of 5 seasons, including 1 full season at the big league level, split between a couple of different teams. 2 notable ones are the Cincinnati Reds, where he spent the most time, and a cup of coffee with the New York Yankees. Overall, throughout his career, he has a 5.23 ERA, a 4.86 FIP, a 1.482 whip, striking out about 6.9 batters per 9 innings and walking 3.6 until he eventually made that move over to independent baseball. Now that all boils down to a ERA plus of 83, which is about 17% below league average production. Not exactly a super successful major league career, but there might still be something here for the Red Sox to really highlight and utilize in order to make him an effective pitcher at the big league level. Now, Sal Romano was actually pretty close to leaving the United States to continue following his dream of playing professional baseball. In fact, he was only a couple of days away, but I'm going to let Sal Romano tell that story. So here is Red Seat Radio's interview with Sal Romano.
So, just brought over the Red Sox. How's it feel?
Feels good. It's been a little bit since I've been out of affiliate ball for a little bit, so I'm very grateful for the opportunity, obviously. I've got a lot of years in pro ball, so it's nice to be able to get back into it and have another opportunity to potentially get to the big leagues again. So.
Absolutely. And then, is there anything you're focusing on coming into Worcester here?
I think first, because I didn't have a spring training, and they know that too, and I think they've been really good with working with me about that. Just kind of feeling out my body and how I'm feeling, how my arms are recovering and stuff like that. So really taking this first month to really just get back into the swing of things. Obviously, I was throwing a lot being at home and stuff like that, but obviously like pitching in games and stuff like that, and in the weight room and stuff like that. You gotta see how your body reacts to everything and just kind of get back into the swing of it.
So you kind of took, I mean, a little bit of an unusual route to the Red Sox, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if too many people know how that process works. Could you explain sort of, where you came from, how?
Yeah, I was about to go to Mexico.
Really?
I had it all signed, the contract signed and stuff like that. I needed to go pitch competitively somewhere because I just wasn't getting signed yet. So, but yeah, I went to a Red Sox workout back in March. It went really well. So, just took a little bit longer than anticipated, but all worked out in the end. I was really happy. When they called, like I said, I was supposed to go to Mexico last Wednesday or Thursday,
really?
And they called on Tuesday. So
wow,
we were able to work it out, and everything happens for a reason, and that just happened to be the time that it worked out. So
yeah, sure. And then obviously, I think everyone's ultimate goal is to end up in the big leagues, of course.
Yeah.
But is there a specific goal right now you have with the Woo Sox, aside from just sort of getting back into,
Yeah, I think it pretty much hit on it. It's just about just kind of figuring out my body again and just, getting through the season and stuff like that. There's a plan. Obviously the main goal is to get back to the big leagues. But, right now I got to be present in where I'm at. I'm very grateful to be here. And then, obviously as the season goes on, obviously that's the goal is to, potentially get up there and to be able to help the team out. But right now, just enjoying the moment and, learning from my new coaches and, all the different types of information that I'm receiving and stuff like that. So I'm just really excited to come to work every day. So
yeah, that's awesome. And then I sort of end every interview with a quick game.
Yeah.
It's this or that. It's basically would you rather,
Yeah.
except with the magic of editing, we're going to put down what Red Sox Nation also thinks.
Okay.
So just 3 questions quickly. I got Pedro Martinez or Roger Clemens?
I was a big Roger Clemens guy growing up
Yeah.
because I was a Yankee fan growing up. So
All
I
right.
mean, with Roger with the Yankees. So
We'll edit that out later.
It's all right. It's all right.
Second one is a 20 strikeout game or a Greg Maddux?
Oh God, I don't think I've ever struck out 20 in my entire life. So I'll say 20 strikeouts.
All right. And then the last one I got is best fastball in baseball or to have the best off-speed pitch in baseball?
I think the best off speed to be able to throw a wiffle ball frisbee type of pitch. I think that's definitely what baseball's really turned into nowadays. So.
Yeah, it has. It'll help a lot getting to that 20 strikeouts.
Absolutely,
man. Yeah.
absolutely.
All right, I appreciate it, Sal. Thank you so much for coming on.
You bet.
Honestly, just really super fascinating stuff from Sal here in this interview. I think he's going about things the right way. I also think it's really fascinating that he was just a couple of days away from moving to Mexico to continue playing professional baseball. That to me are always really fascinating stories, and it does make some sense that after not playing professional baseball this season, the first few weeks back in Sal's time in Worcester are going to be used mainly as time to get himself back into full baseball routines. Since that interview, Sal has gotten himself into some game action, though. It's not a huge sample size. It's 5 total games over 8 innings. He's being used as mainly a short burst reliever, and in that time span, he has a 2.25 ERA with a much higher 5.36 FIP. Kind of interestingly, he has struck out 1 batter, walked 1 batter, and allowed 1 home run during that time as well. So his percentages on all of those are exactly the same at 3.4%. As he mentioned himself right now, it isn't so much about the results themselves per se. It's about getting his motion and movement right on the mound. 8 innings is an extremely small sample size to really make any sort of judgment on, but there are some encouraging signs. He hasn't walked a ton of players like we just mentioned, and he's generating ground balls at a rate of about 59.3%. What this usually indicates with pitchers is that hitters aren't making very good contact, right? When a pitcher is letting up a lot of loud contact, you see that ground ball rate sort of dip a little bit, and you start to see more of a line drive fly ball-esque result from a pitch. So the fact that he's not really missing a ton of bats is definitely something to pay attention to, but also those bats that are making contact, they're not exactly punishing him all that much. In fact, he's leaving about 87% of runners he allows on base on those bases in his outing so far. Again, it's an extremely small sample size. It's hard to take anything super substantial away out of 5 games. I just wanted to share some very interesting results. But what does 2024 hold for Sal, and how does that impact the Red Sox? Honestly, I'm not really sure. I think what that's going to end up boiling down to is how the Red Sox end up using him throughout the 2024 season. Now, I mentioned when we were talking about his indie ball appearances that he had split time between being both a starter and a reliever. Now, obviously, as he ramps himself back up, they're not going to stick him in the rotation so that he's going 4 or 5 innings, and they're probably going to use him as that short burst reliever that we were just talking about. But what if that's the Red Sox plan overall? We've been sort of understanding that Sal Romano is basically here to be emergency starter depth in case the Red Sox really need it. But what if the Red Sox see it a bit differently? What if they're sitting there and they're taking a look at Sal Romano and they're saying, okay, at the major league level, he wasn't super effective in either a bit of a longer relief role or as a starter, but what does he look like if he is that, hey, let's be that bridge guy to the bridge guy, the 6th inning into the 7th inning or the 7th inning into the 8th inning type reliever where you're going out there, you're not getting super overly exposed, and you're able to do a job and get it done well. That could be a route the Red Sox are taking. Now, again, obviously it's really hard to take a look at 5 outings and say, yep, that's the Red Sox plan, but I'm wondering if this could be on the table. We've seen some interesting stuff from both Breslow and Willard, who's the new pitching director, within the system as a whole when it comes to the usage of these minor league arms. We just had a video the other day of Justin Hagenman sort of starting to transform from a bullpen reliever to a starting pitcher. What if they do the exact opposite and it's successful? Now, I'm not saying to expect major things from Sal Romano in 2024, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see a bit of shift in usage for him. And I think for 2024 for Sal, this is going to be a bit of a discovery year, right? It's going to be figuring out how he can get himself back into Major League Baseball shape, or even if he can get himself back into Major League shape. For us, I think it's really important to remember, especially for how much, and myself included, we rag on these guys for their statistics, just how winding and complicated a baseball player's life could be. There's just simply no guarantees with anything in this game from a personal matter. So to me, hearing these types of stories where they're coming from independent ball or they were in Major League Baseball and they're out, then they're back in, is always super fascinating. And I think this is a pretty easy guy to root for in terms of his road in 2024. As for Sal's impact on the Red Sox itself, I don't expect a ton. I don't think Sal Romano is going to be a major player in the Red Sox success this year. Again, I think from a Sal perspective specifically, it's about discovery, but for the Red Sox as well, they don't really know what they have in this guy, if they have anything at all. And it's going to take some time to figure out if there is anything here and in what role that could possibly serve. But I do think it's an important name to remember. This is a guy with major league experience. This is a guy with some stuff you look at and you say, okay, I think there might be something there, like we pointed to when we were talking about the ground ball rate. So I don't know. I'm going to be paying attention to him because I think it's a fascinating story, and I love these type of stories. But again, I don't know how much of an impact he's going to have on the Sox this year. I really hope he ends up having some, but that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think about Sal? What do you think about his story? What do you think about the usage he's had so far this year? And what do you think is a possible trajectory for Sal in 2024? Let me know all your thoughts on Sal Romano's interview in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. It just helps it out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Don't be afraid to let me know what you think of this format video in the comment section down below. We've done one already. We're trying something new out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you are interested in Southern New Hampshire's online sports management program, be sure to click the link in the description, snhu.edu/Red Seat Radio. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the Red Seats.